I'm going to be brutally honest about Rise of the Ronin. It's actually pretty fun. I am actually having a lot of fun with this game. Is it perfect? Definitely not. But it is a lot of fun. And one of my top 5 games of all time is Ghosts of Tsushima. I absolutely love the gameplay, the story, the world, the setting, everything about that game, the pacing of it, and everything. It's absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous in every single beautiful aspect. And then we get Rise of the Ronin. Not by Sucker Punch, this is by Team Ninja, but even Team Ninja, with their previous games, has put out so much better games than this. Let's get into it. This game should have been so much more, and the graphics should have been so much better when we think of these big, ambitious PlayStation titles. The graphics definitely aren't up to scratch when we think of these next-gen titles, with frequent pop-ins and frequent frame rate dips. And the colours are boring and dull compared to what they should be, with no big shiny visuals on offer at all, and nothing seems to pop in this world. But Team Ninja do often support their games with post-launch support and new content, so I think this could get better over time. This is a very ambitious Team Ninja title that puts you in this huge open world filled with so much content, and it's up to you what you do first and how you go about doing it. And if you're into that samurai style of game, then you will really enjoy this one. It's just a shame, with so much going on in this game and in this world with so much to do, there is just no sense of discovery or mystery. Everything is kind of just laid out for you to go and do it. But the world you explore just really doesn't feel like it should from today's standards. Now, Rise of the Ronin is an incredibly story-driven game reliant on the choices you make. But saying that though, I never felt really engaged in the story at all, or its choices that just don't seem to hit the mark. And this was meant to be the main attraction of this game. Its heavily focused story and narrative driven choices, and with a main focus on the bonds you make along the way, with no real sense of discovery or mystery to the game at all. I'm not saying at all that this is a bad game. It is a fun game, and we have been here many times before with much better titles that do it so much better than Rise of the Ronin. But it is enjoyable. The combat is excellent as well, with a big focus on monitoring your health, your stamina, with successful parrying and dodging. And this isn't those Team Ninja soul games that we have come to expect. They have tailored this game for a wider audience, with difficulty settings for a much more traditional action adventure without the Souls-like challenge. You can play this game on easy, it's for the casual gamer, and you can have a good time doing that. And if you still want the Souls experience, then play it on hard if you are looking for that challenge. Enemies are still tough though, and they can still kill you. This game has a heavy focus on timing when in combat, nailing down the right flow and putting it all together. Strikes, blocks, dodging, the perfect parry to take down their shield, to open them up for a few strikes, to then finish them off with a finishing blow. All enemies have a health bar and a shield. Just keep an eye out though for your stamina, because the more you dodge and strike, your stamina will be depleted. There's healable items as well that you'll find yourself using a lot. And when an enemy does kill you, essentially a target will be placed on their back. There'll be a vendetta placed on them, so you'll be to pinpoint them on the map and go and seek your revenge. Go and kill them to get your karma points back. You'll be going up against your standard type of enemies to your leaders, normal enemies, shielded enemies, archers, big bosses, dogs, and wild animals, all with their own variety of different weapons. Enemies will have their own difficulty level as well, showing how tough they are, with odds usually being stacked against you as well. So if you find yourself dying a lot from trying to clear out a bunch of enemies, level up some more and return to it later. And you'll have a variety of weapons at your disposal to use, from swords, guns, bows, dual wielding weapons and more, with 3 stances being able to be equipped at once. Switching between these stances can really help you against certain enemy types that may be weaker with one stance than the other. This game has a very heavy loot system in place where you'll be marking and finding chests on the map and around the world as you explore, as well as a bunch of different throwables to use as well. There's also armor and accessories you can equip with their own stats suited to your certain skills, and skill points to acquire special skills that will all improve your strength, dexterity, charm and intelligence, which is the game's skill tree. You can also train at dojos and sparring matches to increase your combat proficiency, training with a certain combat style that you want to increase and level up. As you progress, you will obtain a glider to glide across areas in the world and access veiled banners to fast travel around the world. These will act as checkpoints as well to respawn at. You'll be able to access these banners as well to replenish all your stats, stamina and health. You'll be armed with a grappling hook to zip around the map quickly or to get to a certain place or higher ground across rooftops and more. You can stay in the shadows and assassinate enemies using stealth, taking down enemies unnoticed from behind with a devastating, satisfying, brutal strike, or even assassinating enemies from above or within the tall grass as you crouch and remain hidden. Some tougher enemies though won't be able to be taken down so easily. In missions you will have an ally at your side, and when you fall in battle you will be switched to that second character, and you can freely switch between them in missions as well at any point. If one of you does fall in battle, you can also revive that ally. As you increase your bond levels, working with those allies, creating and building upon the relationship between those characters for rewards, with choices being made that will impact those bonds. Often they will have their own agendas as well. From the open road to towns and villages, you'll be completing missions and side activities. Completing a bunch of activities in a certain area of the map will increase your bond level. By doing everything in that area, all have a collection rate of 100% as well. And I am getting so sidetracked from the main mission to just doing side stuff, just to tick them off like a checklist. From shrines, public orders, taking photos, finding cats, encounters, discovering landmarks, helping clients and allies in the world that are in need of your services, and more. You can place markers on the map to pinpoint areas of interest, or just a marker so you know where you are heading next. You'll also be earning karma as you play the game. Every enemy killed earns you karma. Karma rewards will vary depending on the enemy's level as well. It's basically just another kind of XP, and then you can bank this and turn it into skill points at the banners or by completing missions. You can also pick up different minerals and flowers in the world as you're exploring. Your equipment can be upgraded as well using blacksmiths. There's merchants you can upgrade, buy and sell items to in villages and towns. You'll be clearing out bandit hideouts, areas occupied by enemies as you defeat a set number of enemies and a boss of that area before successfully clearing it out and returning that area to the public. And these are called public order. And they will have their own level to them as well, determining if the enemies here are low or high. And sometimes these missions will have you rescuing other Ronins and hostages. And upon completing missions, you will gain XP, as well as increase your bond with that area or with that certain person you are doing a mission for, and you will also be increasing your weapon proficiency the more you use a certain weapon. You'll also be coming across a lot of cats and dogs, doing a lot of petting, and catching a lot of cats off guard by approaching them quietly and silently. You can also send dogs out to retrieve rewards and items for you, as well as sending out cats to those in need. You're effectively a cat shelter at this point. You can whistle for your horse at any time when roaming freely in the world, and you can also go to stables to buy and sell horses and even change the equipment on your horse. Also, if you really want to play it this way, you can kill civilians, but this will raise your wanted level. You'll then be pursued by authorities. There's also longhouses to use as a place to rest. You can store items here, add furniture and customize it, making your own, as well as change your character's appearance and equipment. You can also do cooperative missions with other players online. Yes, there is an online co-op aspect. So what do you guys think of Ghost of Tsushima? No, it isn't Ghost of Tsushima, it's Rise of the Ronin. I think the reason I've just said that is because if there's one thing that this game has made me want to do most, is go back and play Ghost of Tsushima all over again. That might say something about Rise of the Ronin more than anything else. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you for making me a part of your day and checking out my videos. Thank you. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time.